Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your Sunday evening EFL viewing. It is episode 97 of the 72 review, and you've got the dynamic duo again this week. I'm 18 Dapper. If you're on the channel, you know who I am. Do all things Doncaster Rovers, and I am playing in the Eve Merton Dreams Trust charity game as a backup once again. Link to my donation pages in the comments down below. If you can spare anything, that would be superb. It's Doncaster Rovers Legends versus Manchester United Legends. Nobody's been announced yet, but I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's me, Donny Rovers. It's a season, we'll put it that way. We will get onto it as the show goes on. And next to me is a regular face. I think you've never missed a show, Ian, if I'm right in thinking that.
I don't think I have. I don't think I have since I've been invited onto it. I don't think I've missed one, which proves how sad I am, really. So all my Sundays are free. I'm Ian. I'm 63-year-old Rotherham season ticket holder. A lot happier now than I were 8 days ago, because we've got rid of the cancer that were ruining our club, and we've got a Rotherham lad taking over, and he's doing pretty well. When I'm not at Rotherham, I'm away around the country blogging for my YouTube channel, Old Man Ground Hopping, which Dan's kindly put in the description. So let's get this therapy session started.
To be fair, mate, it's not a therapy session for us this week. It might be for some of the guys who are in the chat. So as always, get you chatting. As we're on each division, if you are new to this, we'll go through each of the three divisions. If we're on the division that your team's in, get you chatting about the club that you support, how your season's going, and how the result was and performance this weekend, and we'll get it up on screen. We'll have a quick chat about it. But yeah, normally it is a therapy session for us, but 2 wins for the two of us this weekend. So
yeah, very, very good wins as well.
So
both 2-0.
Yeah, happy Sunday.
Oh, well, 2-1. Sorry, yeah, I forgot about penalty. Yeah, 2-1. Yeah.
We've got Luca in the chat. Good evening. We've got Jordan as well. Evening up the Donny. We've got John Morell. Evening, chaps and chats. It'll be a very happy Blue Nose with a superb result, which has pretty much promoted them. I think they're 1 point away, if my maths is correct.
They've been promoted since September, to be honest.
They have, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's get the championship up on the screen. Jake won't be joining us tonight, unfortunately, because he's getting a bit of hammer due to good old Chansiri, who's ruining the club. And I think we've had the chat numerous times, Ian, about kind of rivalries. And for me, a rivalry needs to stay. I don't want to see any club go under. Reading are on the brink at the minute.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we don't really have any fierce rivals in the AFL. In my opinion, we've got rivalries with kind of the local clubs because of the Yorkshire derbies and stuff. But our probably fierce rival is probably Scunthorpe, and they were close to going under. Or Rotherham potentially. But Scunny were close to going under, and for me, I want that rivalry. I want to play the rival and get kind of one up on them and stuff. So it's not just a football club as well; it's a community. Some people use it as an escape for 90 minutes. They've got shit going on at home or in the work or whatever, and that 90 minutes is an extended family just to kind of get away and escape. So to hear that a number of clubs, big clubs, are on the brink, it's not nice to hear. And you think about the businesses that rely on kind of match day football and stuff like that. Yeah. It's so much more than a football club. It just extends so much further. And to know that one person within clubs can completely destroy that.
Or one group of people. I mean, I think a lot of it is ego-driven, power-hungry people that don't know a lot about football in a lot of cases.
Yeah, it is indeed. Jordan has put Leeds bottle in it, so I think that's a perfect place to start, Ian, don't you? Luton 1, Leeds 1. It's not been a decent run. Well, it's not been a great run of form for Leeds at the minute. It's that time of year where they do start to wobble a little bit. They should have enough quality in that squad to get over the line, shouldn't they?
They should, but having said that, it's not the first time that they've bottled a promotion bid. There's enough quality in that side to win the league, in my opinion. But it's just not happening for them. I mean, yeah, I understand that Luton are fighting for their lives in the Championship, but you would have had this down as an away banker. You would.
Yeah.
But Luton, I mean, they fought well in the game. Decent stats. I mean, Leeds obviously are going to have the possession stats, but everything else, the shots and whatnot, it looks fairly even. I saw the goals. I saw, but I think Leeds are very lucky that Sheffield United fell to an unexpected defeat at Oxford, or I think might have been cut a little bit adrift. But you can't argue with Burnley's record. I mean, if you consider that Burnley's only lost 2 league games all season, that's incredible.
Yeah, they deserve
Leeds
to go up with
always,
that record, don't they?
Yeah. Leeds' Achilles heel this season, as it's been in previous seasons, is their away record.
Well, the goalkeeper this season is Anthony Putz. The goalkeeper, Meslier, has cost them 14 points and was dropped this weekend. So,
well, yes. I'm not surprised that Farke dropped him because he has cost them points. And although he's an half-decent shot stopper, he has got a monumental cock-up in him, as he's shown recently.
Every game, pretty much. So
more or less, yeah.
He was dropped this weekend, but still.
It's only 2 from 3. It's only 2 from 3 for automatic.
Yeah.
And I think the one that loses out, we being Burnley, Sheffield United, or Leeds, are going to find it incredibly difficult to motivate themselves for the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, Burnley had to do it the hard way, coming from behind. Had you right on 5 minutes, put Coventry in front, who are in decent form themselves under Frank Lampard. But yeah, you always think that Burnley have got it in them to keep it tight at the back. I think they've only conceded 12 goals this season, something like that.
That's incredible, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible.
And grab a goal or two to turn it around, and Leeds leaving the door ajar. Burnley have certainly walked through it, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, one thing you need for a promoted side is consistency. And Burnley have been more consistent than Leeds, more consistent than Sheffield United. And if they do go up automatically and win the Championship, they'll have deserved it. And Scott Parker's done a great job.
John's put, wonder if Leeds would like Peacock Farrell back. He'd pay for the Uber.
I don't know. I mean, there's worse keepers than Peacock Farrell. We've got 2 of them. Yeah.
We've already mentioned Sheffield United dropping points, surprisingly, at Oxford as well. I think this was another away bank, but you look at the stats and Sheffield United have done everything but score by the looks of it, haven't they?
They've missed them. I saw the highlights on the EFL show last night, and the Blades missed some sitters.
Yeah,
they missed some really good chances.
And sometimes you just have days like that, don't you, where it just doesn't go in for you, it doesn't drop, or you just know that it's not going to be your day.
But that was an absolutely vital result for Oxford.
Yeah,
and it's kept some clear daylight between them and the bottom 3.
It has indeed.
Yeah. Fantastic result for them.
And that's a good segue, that, about the bottom 3. So I think we go to Plymouth. Fantastic result for them.
Good result. Ryan Hardy scoring again.
Yeah. Do you think it's give them life, or do you still think probably a bit too much? I mean, ATID is normally in the chat, so
it's kept them alive.
Yeah,
it's kept them alive, but I still think it's too much of a gap to claw back, especially with Argyle's away record, which is not good. Yeah. I mean, they're competitive at home park, but put them away from home, and they're not the same team. I don't think Plymouth will get out of it, personally. Although it was a very good result against a very underperforming Norwich side this season. Very underperforming.
I think with Plymouth, I mean, if ATID comes into the chat, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? And I think he's written the season off for a number of weeks now, but results like this just give you that glimmer, don't they? And then you hold on to it, hoping that you are going to survive, and then it's just it's a knife to the heart when it does come.
I think the worrying aspect for Argyle fans is that if they go down to League One, who are they going to lose? Are they going to lose Ryan Hardy? Are they going to lose one or two more of the better players? Which is
going to be a bit of rebuilding, isn't it?
Possibility, yeah.
Lovely stuff. Another team in the bottom three is Derby County, I believe.
Yeah. Well, the four. No, they're not in the bottom three. I think they're a point clear.
Luton and Cardiff.
No, they're on the same points as Cardiff. Yeah.
So poor result for them, keeping them well in the mix. But Swansea have sort of turned a corner since his name's escaped me. They got rid of the manager, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they seem to have started to pick up a few more points, but you look at the stats on this.
They're always going to have the majority of the possession because that's how Swansea play. They're a possession-based team. But having said that, I mean, Derby should have got something from that game, judging by the shots and whatnot. And they're breaking on Swansea, but it's just it hasn't happened. And it were vital really that Derby got some from this, because the next game, I think it's midweek. I think they're at home to Burnley, if I'm not mistaken. Tuesday, home to Burnley. Ouch.
That's a rough fixture.
Yeah.
So like you say, could have done with something from this to alleviate the pressure.
Yeah.
But Cardiff didn't capitalise.
Well, not fully.
Yeah,
it's still a decent point at QPR. Yeah. Decent point.
Yeah, because QPR have not been too bad at the minute. I know they're kind of in and around the mix, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all right. They're quite clear.
Yeah,
although it's only 5 points.
Yeah, they've not won a game in the last 5, but it's still a tough place to go. Loftus Road. So I think Cardiff will be happy with a point. You think when you're down in bottom 3, you want to try and get points away from home and try and win your home games, and you can pretty much say that about if you're at the top of the table, just get points wherever you can, don't you? And I think they'll certainly take this one and move on and start looking at Derby and seeing them as catchable.
Yeah. One team that did themselves a power of good yesterday were Hull City at Hillsborough.
Very late on,
that's the way to win a game, with a bullet header in the 94th minute. No goalie saving that. Did you see it on the highlights?
I ain't seen any highlights this week, mate, so I'm running blind on this one.
It was a free kick that came in, and Hughes just planted his noggin on it, and it just flew in.
Yeah.
And that's the way to win.
I was listening to Radio Sheffield right and about yesterday, and Adam said that the feeling, I think it was Adam who was talking about it, the feeling around Hillsborough was kind of apathy, and we've been in that position a couple of seasons ago at Donny, very recently at Rotherham. Wednesday fans have got to do more, haven't they? If this is the point where things can disappear and go drastically wrong, surely this is the point that they've got to be heard. They can't just go to Hillsborough and sit quietly. Surely this is the chance that they've got.
I'm surprised that Wednesday's supporters group haven't mobilised yet, because that man, Dalphon Chansiri, is absolutely destroying the club piece by piece. He hasn't paid the players for March. They're looking like, I mean, what the EFL normally do in those circumstances is slap a points deduction. And if Wednesday were unlucky enough to get a points deduction from the start of next season, it's very, very detrimental to the chances.
Especially if we've got transfer embargoes as well.
Yes, exactly. Also, Danny Role in his post-match looked a bit crestfallen.
Yeah.
And with his record at Hillsborough having done so well, I'm sure he's on one or two clubs' shortlists for managerial posts.
Yeah, there's
So
rumour that he's already kind of
as well.
penciled in to go to Southampton, isn't he? But yeah, he looks absolutely defeated yesterday, and it's a shame because he's done a world of good for Sheffield Wednesday since he came in.
When you consider it, and especially all the relegation fears they had last season that Danny Role got them out of, they've had a pretty good season this year.
Yeah.
They've had a very good season. But having said that, if you're a Wednesday fan and you are seeing all this off-field malarkey transpire, it's going to break your heart, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, John said Wednesday fan base are very surprising with this. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought there'd have been spitting feathers and torches, pitchforks, job lot on go. And John says if it were Blues, we would be protesting like crazy. If he doesn't pay them by tomorrow, that's free window embargo, which absolutely kills them. Yeah,
absolutely.
It does indeed. Yeah. Evening, Lewis. So yeah, hopefully things get ironed out because, like we said at the start of the show, we don't want to see any club across the EFL struggle or go under. Local rivals, we certainly don't want them to go because we like the bragging rights when we play each other, or the potential bragging rights if you win a game and stuff.
There's also the inter-club banter, which 90% of it's good natured anyway.
Yeah,
I mean it can get nasty, obviously, but I wouldn't like to see a club of Wednesday stature disappear without any question. I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. So that's the Championship. Let's have a quick look at the table. So down at the bottom, Plymouth, they have given themselves a glimmer of hope, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And they're in pretty decent form. But it's their away record that'll kill them.
Yeah. Lewis has said the Championship promotion and relegation battle is so interesting. Yeah, it is. I think the Championship, probably both ends. League Two, top end more than bottom. League One bottom end more than top.
yeah.
But yeah, Plymouth, Luton, and Cardiff currently make up the bottom three. Derby will be nervously looking over the shoulders, as will Stoke.
Yeah, but at least they've given us,
yeah.
I mean, Hull did themselves a power of good, so did Oxford.
Yeah,
but they've got to come. I mean, it's only a couple of defeats could throw Oxford and Hull back into it, and Stoke for that matter.
Yeah, and Portsmouth.
I
think the magic number's 50, isn't it? If you're not at 50 points yet, you're still going to be a little bit nervous. But as we go up the table, I mean, you've got Sheffield Wednesday on 52, Preston on 48. I can't see them getting dragged down. There's too much traffic between them and the bottom three. Moving up towards the top of the table, Bristol City broke into the playoffs. They've been kind of flirting with it for a number of weeks, haven't they? Getting close and getting beat.
Losing 2 on the bounce. Coventry, you're losing 2 on the bounce has helped Bristol City.
Yeah, it's just opened the door for them.
Bristol City are a machine attack Ashton Gate.
Yeah.
They've turned that place into a fortress.
Yeah. Middlesbrough, Sunderland and Leeds currently make up the playoffs. But like you said, Ian, it's any 2 of 3 with Burnley and Sheffield United currently occupying 1 and 2.
And I've got to give a shout out to our Borough have come up because Carrick has mobilised them, and 10 points from 4 games, it's put them right up there.
Yeah, as indeed.
Yeah, and they're a handy side when they're on form.
Yeah, we saw them in pre-season. They looked very, very good in pre-season against Donny. John said, how is it even allowed that owners don't pay the wages? Crazy. Honestly, John, I don't know. I think my mind's absolutely boggled myself. Surely that's something that...
And it's not an isolated incident. You see it. We've seen it at Sheffield Wednesday recently.
Yeah.
We've seen it at Reading. We've seen it at 1 or 2 more clubs. And I don't know. I mean, it's like
EFL's got to step in.
It's like these owners are saying to the EFL, "Go on then, see what you can do. See what we It's just balmy, absolutely balmy."
It is indeed. On to better news, though, Ian. You had a midweek game, So if you want to start on that one, Northampton 2, Rotherham, Northampton 0, Rotherham 2. Sorry, this was the start of a new era, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, last Sunday, exactly 7 days ago, at 11 o'clock in the morning, there was a statement from the club saying that Steve Evans and Paul Rayner have been relieved of their duties with immediate effect, and Matt Hamshaw, who's got a UEFA A licence, he were Paul Warne's number 2 when he was at Rotherham, are going to come and take the reins until the end of the season. So that, in my estimation, is they're not going to make a permanent appointment till the summer, which is sensible in my view. See how Matt Hamshaw gets on in the few games that he's got left, and then they've got a decision to make. So virtually the same side that got absolutely played off the park by Crawley took the field against Northampton, and it was a comfortable win. We never looked in any trouble. The first goal were a little bit lucky. It was a Louis Sibley shot that directed off Pelly Ruddock and wrong-footed the keeper. But we had chance after chance, especially first half. We could have gone in about 4-0 up. We didn't. It was only 1-0. Northampton came back at us a little bit in the second half, but they never looked overly threatening. Cameron Dawson had one save to make. He made it quite comfortably. And then we went down the other end, and it was the scrappiest to scrappy goals by Sam Nombe sealed the result. Night and day compared to 3 days earlier when we were absolutely tripe.
Yeah.
A comfortable 2-0 away win. And so it did put a smile on everybody's face. So, I'm sure reign got off to a winning start.
John said that he thinks the appointment of Hamshaw almost confirms that Paul Warne is coming back in the summer.
I disagree.
Is there any sort of rumours or murmurings that that's going to happen?
I disagree.
Okay.
Because I don't think that Paul Warne left the club for Derby on good terms with the owner, Tony Stewart. I think there were one or two real arguments there. I think Matt Hamshaw is here on his own merits. I don't think he's here to get the seat warm for Paul Warne. And from a totally personal point of view, it's just my opinion as a Rotherham fan. I wouldn't want Paul Warne back because I don't think it works second time round. I mean, you might have a counter argument with Grant McCann at Rovers, but I just don't think. I think 8 out of every 10 managers that come back, it doesn't work. It didn't work.
I'll be honest, although our position says different, I think the football and tactics that Grant McCann played first time round were a lot more entertaining and free flowing and got better results.
Yeah.
Than what we're getting this time.
I mean, we had it with Ronnie Moore. He came back, and it was unsuccessful. Steve Evans came back, and it was an unmitigated disaster. And to be quite honest, I mean, a little postscript on Evans and Rayner. I can't see him ever getting another job in the EFL because they are absolute dinosaurs. They will not change. The tactics never alter. No. He doesn't adapt. He's got no plan B if plan A isn't working. I can't see another EFL chairman taking a risk on him.
No, me neither. A couple of comments have come in, but we'll go on to. We'll get Rotherham 2, Blackpool 1 on the screen. Sue said, true story. He drove straight home after the match and spent 50 quid in the McDonald's drive-thru in Stamford.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That was just his starter, I think. And Lewis has got a question for you, Ian. He said, what's gone wrong for Rotherham this season, as many people would have predicted them to finish up there this season? Has it just been literally...
Right, Lewis, I've got a 2-word answer for you. Steve Evans.
Is it solely down to Steve Evans, or do you think the
Yes,
players have not performed to the
absolutely.
standards that
Yes.
they should have?
No, the thing is, he's coached all the ability out of the. Well, I say coached. That's in inverted commas. He's he's got a style of play, and he actually bullied the players into playing that style of play. And
Yeah.
if he had any dissent, you wouldn't see him for 6 weeks, if you know what I mean, regardless of ability or anything like that. Absolutely, the recruitment was really poor. I nearly swore there, but yes, I agree with you, John. Yeah.
So there you go, Lewis. I hope that's answered your question. Steve Evans is the main culprit reason for Rotherham's season not being kind of what many expected. But in fairness to you, Ian, you from minute one before ball kicked this season were happy with mid-table as sort of a rebuilding and kind of a resetting. So I think probably from an outsider looking in, we expected Rotherham to do better than what they have done. But from a Rotherham fan's perspective, you were kind of where you thought you were going to be.
Yeah, but having said that, in the summer, whoever takes the job, whether it be Matt Hamshaw or another manager, he's got a total rebuild again, because some of the underperforming players have only got short-term contracts, and they'll be out the door. That is for certain. Also, our recruitment team,
looking at Paul Warne, which I think it'd be a good appointment.
Right, honest, that would be a good appointment. That would be a good appointment if Huddersfield get it, because I mean, I've got a lot of admiration and respect for Paul Warne for what he did for us as a football club and the sort of identity he built, and I think he can do that somewhere else. And if he can do it at Huddersfield, it'd be a good appointment.
Would indeed. 2 wins on the bounce up coming on to this weekend.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time since 2 wins on the bounce happened in Rotherham, I think.
It were only January when we beat Charlton and Bolton in successive homes.
Weren't as far back as I thought. Sorry.
It's all right. Another decent performance. We made a team that were flying, which were Blackpool. They were really on form. We made them look quite ordinary. I mean, it was a competitive game, and Blackpool were always in it. We took the lead about halfway through the first half, where Sam Nombe held the ball up, Malik Wilts shot, and the Blackpool keeper made a really good save, but it fell to Akima Doffin, who put the rebound in 1-0. And we were good value for that first half. We had we had a goal disallowed for offside, and we was, I would say, the better team.
Do you think it was rightfully called off, or was it?
Yes,
tight?
It was. Yeah, I would in line with it. I would in line with it. It was offside. No complaints there. Second half, obviously, Steve Bruce made a raft of substitution because he weren't happy with the first half performance. Blackpool came more into it. It was a little bit more open second half, end to end. But Blackpool eventually got the penalty by an ex-Rovers player. It was James Husband. Adjudged to be brought down by Joe Rafferty, and the referee. It was harsh, in my opinion. But I'm a Rotherham fan, so I'm a little bit biased. It was harsh. And Sonny Carey stepped up and beat Cameron Dawson for 1-1. So me having my pessimistic head on, I thought, here we go, we're going to lose this by being 1-0 up. But we regrouped. Jack Holmes, who Rotherham sub, had a great effort with his left foot, palmed away. And then I think Jake Beasley lost the game for Blackpool in injury time. He made a stupid challenge just after halfway and got his second yellow card and got sent off. To be quite honest, I mean, it was a challenge he didn't need to make because it was so far away from goal and there were no danger. But he slid in and it was a yellow card. His feet were up. Second yellow off. And from the resulting free kick, we got the winner. Joe Powell sent the ball over Hakeem Odoffin headed it along, along the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, our right back, Joe Rafferty, were there to tap it in. Happy days. I think we deserve the win. Blackpool will be disappointed because I think their late playoff charge has stalled, and I don't think they can get back to that. The 10th, it's a long way. Yeah, 6 points at this stage of the season is a lot to make up.
Teams above them have got a game in hand as well, haven't they? So I think that's probably the nail in the coffin that stopped them.
It for them. Yeah. But as far as we are doing, Smiles on
Facebook. You are ending somebody's playoff run. Nasty.
I know. As far as putting smiles back on people's faces, 2 wins on the trot. League One safety virtually guaranteed now on 51 points.
Yeah.
I mean, let's end the season as well as we can. I mean, results now, I'm not really bothered about because I think we say. But get some minutes into, get some injuries back, see what we can do. And in the summer, let's see whoever takes charge, see the rebuild start to happen, and hopefully we have a better 25-26 because
like you say, it's about getting some sort of performances in and results and going into the close season in like a positive mindset.
I mean, I did say to a fellow Miller before the start of the game yesterday, I says, today the performance is more important than the result.
Yeah.
Because if we see players playing for the badge, fighting, commitment, all well and good, and that's something that we didn't see in a lot of Steve Evans games.
Yeah.
We saw, I think player power had a massive effect in the removal of Steve Evans because I think he lost the dressing room fairly early.
Once you've lost dressing room, that's it. It's game over, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the thing
Lewis says he thinks that Rotherham will be a tough game for Stockport on Saturday. Do you agree?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think we can put up a performance.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about the result because going to Edgeley Park's frightening at the best of times with the strike force that Stockport have got. But I'd like to think that we can keep it competitive, and anything can happen. It's 11 against 11. But I wouldn't put too much money on the Millers getting a result there, especially. No. Especially with the position Stockport are in, needing the points for the playoffs.
I'd agree with that. John, if you're still in the chat, we will move on to Birmingham shortly. Get a comment in about your game. But the other John has talked about Wrexham. January 31st, Wrexham 6 points behind Wickham and -8 goal difference. Today, 6 ahead with only -1 goal difference. 9 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats since February the 1st, with 8 clean sheets, 21 clean sheets from 41, which is top in the league.
Yeah.
There's no arguing with that, is there?
Like that.
No.
I think not argue with stats like that.
Yeah, throughout the season, they've just hit the right notes at the right time, haven't they? And they've kept in touching distance of Wickham.
I think the purchase of Sam Smith has been a masterstroke for Wrexham.
Yeah.
Because he scored a lot of goals for Reading in the first half of the season. And to pick him up, and he's not stopped, he's been very, very good. He's an old-fashioned type of poacher, but also he can get really good goals from distance as well. They've got a lot of experience in that side. They've got Marriott, who's been there, done that, and bought several T-shirts. Ollie Rathbone, again, at the start of the season, a good buy.
Yeah.
Parkinson's recruited well. And to be quite honest with you, there's some rumours abound, and if and when, yes, agreed. There's some rumours that abound that Phil Parkinson may not be high profile enough for him to go in the Championship with. What's he done wrong? He's been brilliant since non-league games.
I think you've got to stick with him, haven't you? And
you've got to.
The big thing around Wrexham, or one of the big things around Wrexham, is the fairy tale from coming from non-league and going through the leagues. Surely keeping a manager for that is part of that fairy tale and part of that story, and it shows that it can be done. And I think Park is a good enough manager for Championship.
Oh, he is. Without any question, he is.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just can't. Wickham are bottling it at the moment. They're bottling it. I can't see Wrexham failing now.
Yeah, John said Wrexham have done great, but I have to say that Bloomfield leaving Wickham completely killed them. Look at their form since he went. Yeah, so the good additions that Wrexham have made.
200%. Yeah. And I think if and when
if Wrexham want high profile, Rowan is looking for a new gig.
It's been mentioned in dispatches we are managerial vacancy as well. I don't want him anywhere near my club. Yeah.
Lewis has also said that he thinks that Wrexham will go on to finish second, as they've got a relatively easy running of games compared to Wickham. So, yeah, they've put themselves in a really good.
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I think that if Wickham were to go into the playoff, I think out of the four, I think Wickham would be very vulnerable.
Yeah.
In the playoff race.
But for Wrexham on Saturday, it's about as comprehensive a win as you're going to see, isn't it? 3-0. Absolutely battered them in terms of.
That's just a mauling. It's a mauling.
Yeah.
An absolute mauling.
Yeah. Burton will be grateful that they only got away with a 3-0 defeat there, I think.
Well, to be quite honest, I mean, Burton have been putting some form together at the bottom end, and a trip to the racecourse is not what they needed, really.
Yeah. I don't think a red card on 10 minutes helped them out either.
Well, they did well to hold out till 71 minutes, really.
Yeah, I've just realised when I went back that they'd got a red card, but I didn't realise it was so early in the game. Moving on to Birmingham. So if my maths is right, 1 point will secure promotion officially.
Another very early red card.
Yeah, and again, the Barnsley did all right with 10 men. It only got kind of the last 20 minutes where it started to get a little bit silly, but they went toe to toe with Birmingham, didn't they? Even though they had 10 men. John just said Burton played well yesterday.
Yeah, and Keeler Dunn, to me, he's been one of League One's standout performers for Barnsley, who've not been brilliant this season, but he's goal scoring record, because he's not really a striker. He's sort of like an attacking midfielder. His goals records are very impressive.
Yeah, nice to see Alfie May get a brace. Always happy when Alfie May. Jake could do with being on. Bit of a klaxon for that. Yeah. But yeah, they've been there all season, haven't they? And it's just a matter of time until they get the C next to the name. How John Morell, if you're still watching, how do you think you're going to fare in the Championship? Is it a case of recruiting a few more, or do you think you've got the squad to tackle the Championship? Because I think you've probably set up similar to what kind of Plymouth and Ipswich were, where maybe one or two additions when you go up should see you right, to be fair.
I mean, I think personally the squad that Birmingham have got now would comfortably survive in the Championship.
Yeah.
And I know it's a massive jump from League One to the Championship, but they've got the right blend. They've got young lads, they've got experience, they've got the fan base.
Just seeing his comment. He's thinking top 6 Championship as they've got 35 to 40 million to spend this summer. That is eye-watering sums of money.
That's frightening, isn't it? It's frightening.
Yeah. But he also said credit to Barnsley here. They still had a go, even at 10 men. But we seem to be let off the leash in this game. We went for Barnsley after the third went in. And to be honest, I'd have thought we'd have seen more scorelines like this season from Birmingham, but there's been kind of a lot of lower scoring wins.
1-0, 2-0, yeah.
But a win's a win. I think you take 3 points even if it's off somebody's backside in the last minute. So yeah, only a matter of time before Birmingham get the C next to the name. Seen Anthony in the chat. So we'll go to Huddersfield next. A 2-1 win over Mansfield.
They needed that Huddersfield.
that puts them back in the mix, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
2
needed
points
it.
behind Bolton. Yeah. Definitely needed that win just to kind of keep their playoff hopes alive.
Unfortunately for Huddersfield fans, Bolton play the game in hand on Tuesday night and they're at home to us. Our away record's pretty poor, but we'll hopefully put a performance in. But Bolton are decent at the Reebok. It's the Reebok. I don't care what they call it now. So they might be getting the 3 points. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Huddersfield, to me, when they're on it, they're very good. But when they're off it, they're dire.
Yeah.
And it's probably the inconsistency that'll cost them.
Yeah. Well, Anthony's just said Mansfield missed 3 sitters, but some of the injuries are coming back and it showed. So they have been hit by a number of injuries recently, which has kind of hit their form as well. So yeah, getting key players back at the right time of the season, it might just be enough to push them back into the top 6.
Who knows?
But yeah, another Claxon mate, Ben Wiles, Rotherham boy. Jordan's just said Rotherham boy, Ben Wiles.
Yeah, he's had a good season, a goal scoring season anyway. Because he was never, when he was with Rotherham, his assists were quite high, but his actual goal scoring himself wasn't that high, but he scored quite a few for Huddersfield this season.
Yeah. John said a win at Peterborough Tuesday and Birmingham are mathematically up. Then if Wrexham don't win the following Saturday, Birmingham will be title winners before the cup final on Sunday. What a weekend that could potentially be for Birmingham.
And let's face it, and then they've got about 4 league games left, Birmingham. It's be 4 parties, won't it?
Yeah, it will indeed. Right, we've just ticked over the 40-minute mark, so we'll have a quick look at the League One table. And then move on to League Two, and we'll probably spend a bit more time. We'll probably do League Two up next week, so we'll get a bit more time on the lower leagues. But we were talking before we went live, Ian. Shrewsbury done and dusted. I think they're dead, aren't they? Yeah. Especially getting beat 1-0 by Cambridge yesterday. I think Cambridge are gone as well, to be fair, even though they're on an decent run of form. I think there's probably too much to get up above Bristol Rovers or Wigan. But
I mean, Crawley, since they beat us, and they beat us well, and they look good, but they've had 2 straight defeats since, and I think that's killed them.
Yeah. Burton are probably the one that I think, John's just come in the chat. It's Burton or Bristol Rovers for the last place for me. I think Wigan have probably got enough to. I mean, they've got a couple of games in hand, which will, if they get the results, it'll pull them away from it a little bit.
If they get one win will be massive, won't it, for Wigan? If they win one of those 2, I think Burton will survive as well.
Yeah, they have a knack of that, don't they? They seem to have a knack of that over recent years.
Bristol Rovers look very vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, they've not won a game in the last 5. I don't know if that extends beyond that. But yeah, they'll be nervous, won't they? I mean, Burton have got the game in hand as well. So interesting end to the season at the bottom of League One.
Rotherham, I think we're okay now. Okay now. I was going to say, even if we lose his last 6 games, I think his goal difference will be okay. Only -4, but I mean, I think we'll get a few more points before now and the end of the season. So, yeah,
I agree.
It's been a fraught season.
Yeah. Apologies to Sue. I've seen her in the chat, and we've not touched on Lincoln. But currently in 11th, 54 points. It's looking like another season in League One. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be facing each other next season. We'd certainly take Street off your hands.
Sincilbank's a good away day.
Is indeed. But yeah, the top 6 currently consists of Bolton, Charlton, Stockport, and Wycombe fighting it out in the playoffs. Birmingham and Wrexham currently occupy 1 and 2, and like John said,
and I think that's how it'll stay.
I agree. Yeah, bit too big a gap there for Wycombe to overcome that.
But if I were to pick if it is Wickham, Stockport, Charlton, and Bolton, if it is those four, which is looking increasingly likely, I would pick for a winner out of those four. And all right, I was sticking my neck out here. I'd say Charlton Athletic.
I'd go Stockport out of those four, I think.
Yeah. But like I said, if the positions, that'll be one hell of a playoff final, Charlton Stockport, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sue said we're keeping Rob, thank you. No, you don't want him. He's rubbish. We'll take him.
That's the loan of the season, isn't it? That is the loan of the season.
It is indeed. On to League Two. So midweek, Donny played Walsall. Huge game towards the top of the table. It's not on the screen. It finished 2-2. Disappointing, to be fair. I think it was a superb advert for League Two football. Both teams went at each other. But yeah, it was so disappointing to go 1-0 up and then pretty much instant reply 1-1. And then to go 2-1 up so late with a superb Billy Sharp goal. He's just kind of flicked it with his heel.
He just showed every bit of his experience there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And at that point, 84 minutes in, I thought, happy days. We've won this game. We've tightened up the top of the table. We've still got a game in hand, all look rosy. And then right at the death, Walsall clawed it back, and probably a draw is a fair result, but it felt like a loss on the night. But
what was the atmosphere like? What was the atmosphere like in the Walsall game?
It was decent. It was good. It could have been better. I think it could always be better at our stadium. I think we don't fill it up enough. We fill it up for big games, and I think it shows because when it is full, it's a superb atmosphere. But when it's half empty, it's difficult to get anything going. So hopefully over the next couple of home games, we've got Wimbledon, Colchester, Bradford coming up at home. It'd be nice to see the people of Donny coming out and supporting a team that's fighting for promotion.
Like fighting to see 10k plus, won't it?
Yeah.
Nice to see 10k plus at all in games,
yeah. Sue's just said, love Rob. He's doing well for you. Sure, we'll send you another striker on loan next season. Yeah, I mean, it's working. Adelaide last season, Rob Street this season. We'll keep on taking strikers that are not getting played at Lincoln, and we'll coach them into scoring at Donny. We're quite happy doing that. But yeah, on to this weekend. I think the red card turned the game. Similar to yours in your game, Ian. Silly challenge in the middle of the park. Didn't need to be made. It was definite yellow card. I thought the referee had a decent game, managed it pretty well, and from that point on, we just we forced the issue a little bit. But on 88 minutes, I tweeted saying that the players just didn't look interested. There was we were just lacking some sort of energy and invention and creativity, and it really frustrating to watch because Cheltenham were there for the taking, and I'm going to claim the assist for the win because a minute later Jamie Sterry popped up and rifled the ball into the net, and then Rob Street popped up on 90+5 and allowed all us Rovers fans to breathe a sigh of relief because made it 2-0 and the game was done. It was a wonderful finish. Little chip after Sabara had broken free. And made the keeper make a save. But you look at the stats, we were dominant in the game in terms of shots on target, possession. But it just seemed like there was something lacking in terms of in that final third, really testing Cheltenham. But I think 9 points out of 7 points out of 9. Sorry, if we do that to the end of the season, we'll be a League One team next season. So yeah, I'm happy with the results over the last couple of weeks. Slightly disappointed with the Walsall one, but I think following that up with 3 points yesterday just made it all kind of feel a little bit better. So yeah, nervous coming into the end of the season. Like I say, Wimbledon next. Then we've got this game in hand against Salford away, then Tranmere away, Colchester at home, Bradford at home, then Notts County away. So I'm hoping if we can win his next 4 games, then them last 2 games will just be dead rubbers and we'll not need them. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jordan said great way for Sterry to celebrate signing a new contract. Yeah, I think he's signed on until 2027. Really good player, so happy to see him signing on and extending his contract. But yeah, we just need to keep on doing our bit. If we keep on winning, doesn't matter about other results. That's all we've got to do.
Yeah, and that's what any manager would tell the players.
Yeah.
Just
You're wearing a Bradford shirt here, so I think that's probably the place we go next. Currently top of the table after winning 2-0 against Crewe.
Them chickens, eh?
Them fucking chickens.
Yeah, I'll tell you something though. I mean, scoring after was it 41 seconds or something like that?
11 seconds.
Was it 11 seconds?
11
seconds. Quick as that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to settle your team now. That's going to, I mean, Crewe, they're faltering. Crewe are faltering. So they might not even make the top 7.
Yeah.
But you can't target. I mean, all season, Bradford have been colossal at Valley Parade.
Yeah.
Their home record is incredible. I mean, they do show vulnerability away from home, as they showed in midweek. But at home, they're a different kettle of fish. To be honest, I think Bradford will end up as champions. I do, honestly. And if Rovers get second or third, you're not going to bother about that. You're not going to worry about that at all.
No, I'm happy in any one of those 3.
Yeah, exactly. Take me hat off to him. Graham Alexander's done a fantastic job there.
And I think it's a fan base that deserves some sort of success. In all honesty,
I don't know how many seasons. I'm sure somebody will tell me. But I don't know how many seasons that Bradford have been in League 2. But it's too many. It's far
7,
too many.
I think
it could be 7 seasons. Yeah, I mean, everything about Bradford City, fan base, stadium, screams championship to me.
Yeah.
It might. I mean, I hope that Chickens fans are not expecting them to do Wrexham and walk League 1 next season, because that won't happen.
No.
In my opinion, that will not happen. So steady build under a very decent manager.
Yeah.
And they've got a good side.
Yeah.
And they're doing all this without Andy Cook, remember?
Yeah.
Which is incredible, really.
Yeah, because I think if they had Andy Cook fit and playing, I think they'd have run away with the league by now.
Yeah. So,
Luckily,
hats off to them. They're doing well.
Talking about somebody that was running away with the league, Walsall, chucking it away, aren't they?
The wheels have come off big time, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, playing Vale, because Vale are in good form, is going to be tough. But, I mean, all the goals in this came in the first half.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, can you really see Walsall making automatics now?
No.
Because, again, like I said with Wickham, if Walsall do fall into the playoffs, they're making themselves very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because if you're going into a playoff campaign out of form, it's very hard to pick it back up again.
Yeah, they've really got to reset, haven't they? And
yeah,
they had such incredible form before Lowe went back to Stoke.
16 points clear at one time. One time, there were 16 points clear at the top. It's
and
incredible.
they've just completely thrown that away. So, like I say, if they do drop into playoffs, they'll be hugely vulnerable. I don't think they'll go up.
No, I'm inclined to agree with you.
But yeah, Port Vale looking really strong at the minute, getting results, getting points on the board, and they're joint top now, I believe.
Yeah, I think the second on goal difference.
I think they are. I think you're right. Yeah. Second on goal difference. So if we win our game in hand, obviously, and match the results of teams above us on Saturday, then we'll be somewhere
Second.
in that mix on goal difference as well. So
Yeah.
extremely tight at the top. Right, we're hurtling towards the hour. Like I said, we'll touch on League Two next week in a little bit more detail. But yeah, looking at the bottom of the table, Carlisle giving themselves a bit of hope, but I'm in agreement with you, Ian. I think they are. I think they're going to be a non-league team next season. 34 points at the minute. Morecambe on the tails of Accrington. I don't know. I think the bottom two are the bottom two.
Yeah, I agree with you. And
You've got
to give Crosby at Tranmere some praise, because since he took over from Adkins, he's done extremely well. I mean, 3 wins out of the last 5. They're still not safe, but I think they'll be okay now.
Yeah, they've got a decent cushion now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Luca came in earlier and said that thoughts on MK season 2 out of 10. I think I'd agree with you on that, mate. I mean, 19th in the table, a squad certainly capable of higher than that in League Two, but maybe just not playing the right style of football to get points in League Two. I think maybe in League One Championship, that style of football probably gets you a little bit more joy. But in League Two, sometimes you just need to be a bit rough and ready, don't you?
Yeah. And they got a hell of a tonking yesterday as well, didn't they? At home, 3-0.
Yeah, they did. Moving up the table, so towards the playoffs, Grimsby have come up out of nowhere, and they're currently in 7th on 65 points. Colchester chasing them down on 62. But yeah, I think Crewe, it's doable, but they've got a lot of work to do, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, they're not out of it. Of course they're not out of it. Anything can happen. But I think they've bottled it.
Yeah. Notts County as well as Wimbledon, both on 68 points. Autos are still in sight for those two, with the run-ins that everybody's got in the top 7, as are Autos, and the title for Donny, Walsall, Port Vale, and Bradford. It is extremely tight. There's only 5 points in it. Coming into the last 5 games.
League One has been absolutely incredible this season.
Yeah,
because I mean, even with 5 games to go, anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, it wouldn't be too surprising if Notts went and won the league. I mean, there's only that 5 points.
Yeah, go on a run and win every game to end the season and win league. So anything can happen.
Yeah.
And finally, to finish off, we've got the EFL Fantasy League. So everybody's over 1,000 points, which is good to see. But we'll move up. I've had an absolute shocker this week. I think I've only got 35 points, 31 points, even worse than I thought. So I've dropped down to 12.
I've only got 43. But having said that, all my players are playing midweek as well.
I've got some players playing midweek, maybe all of them, but yeah, I've just picked the wrong players for this weekend's results, I think. But yeah, it's tight as we go up. I think quite a few people have had rough weeks this week, so it's not done too much damage. I mean, even Bailey.
There's been a lot of surprise results.
Yeah,
only this weekend, especially probably in the Championship as well.
I mean, 43 points for yourself here, and Bailey got 43 points as well. There's not many weeks where you've got the same as Bailey.
No, very few.
So that gives us an update on that. And that takes us to the end of episode 97 of the 72 review. Any final words before we round off, Ian?
It's been enjoyable this week with both our teams winning. Again, it's all 3 divisions, anything can happen. I mean, that's why we love it, because you can't predict it. I mean, it's not like, for example, Scotland, where it's a 2-horse race every year, or 1 or 2 more European leagues that you can argue the same about. The EFL is unique in my estimation, because that's why nobody ever wins a fortune on an acca,
Yeah.
Because anything can happen.
Just
So
unpredictable,
it's not
isn't it?
predictable. It's certainly less predictable than the Premier League.
Yeah.
Which tends to be more predictable because money talks, obviously. But yeah, it's been great. I've enjoyed it this week.
Me too. Like you say, it's not often that both as teams have won. So a therapy session has become quite a celebratory one.
Yeah,
but I just want to, yeah. I just want to thank everybody who was tuned in this evening to watch us ramble on for an hour about the EFL. The show's as much for you as it is for us. So hopefully, whichever team you support has a decent week. If you're playing midweek and playing Saturday. And yeah, there's going to be twists and turns. Just keep an eye on every single league to see where we're at and what twists and turns are going to happen. I don't know if my heart or my blood pressure is going to take the run into the end of the season for the Rovers, but we will certainly be there watching every step of the way. Yeah. So I just want to thank you all for joining us this Sunday evening. If you're watching throughout the week, stick a big thumbs up on the video, get your comments in the section down below. Subscribe to Ian and myself and check out all the other links in the description down below for the other lads who sometimes come on to the show. But yeah, all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you same time, same place next Sunday.